Episode 4 was a doozy. Well, you guys, we have made it halfway into my review of Season 3 of Stranger Things. So far, I feel like I've been doing a really good job of telling you all about the greatness that is, well, Stranger Things. I hope my critiques have been getting better and better, and I hope you guys honestly like it. Having said that, let's get into my spoiler review of Episode 4 of Stranger Things 3. Now, the beginning of the episode, it starts off where Episode 3 left off. Nothing, you know, out of the ordinary or anything different. But we see that Mrs. Driscoll is being carried away into an ambulance, and we keep hearing her say, "I need to go back, I need to go back." Now, Nancy and Jonathan are very, very confused as to what all is going on here. And I find it pretty much easily summed up by the police officer that was there, that pretty much said to them, you know, what the hell is going on here? Now that's not a verbatim quote, but that's pretty much in a nutshell what he said. And then we see the dominoes falling. While all this is going on, as Mrs. Driscoll is being driven away in an ambulance, it cuts to what Billy and Heather, or I should say a possessed Billy and possessed Heather, taking her parents to the factory to be possessed. I guess that would be possessed. I think that would be the word. But it comes off as, honestly, a murder. But as we all know, that's not the case. And this was one of my favorite things about this season so far, is we get to see a mini Mind Flayer. I mean, he's like 1/10 the size, but he's still like really big and gigantic. And just the look on Heather's parents' faces is just frightened. But the cool part is well, actually, it wasn't cool because they got possessed after it. But the Mind Flayer took one of its tentacles, put it over their face, and pumped whatever mind-controlling juice into them. Fast forward, we see that Nancy and Jonathan's disturbance caused quite a legal issue. After Mrs. Driscoll has been taken away, Tom is very furious as to what all has exactly gone on here. Now, we can obviously see that he's sick, he's very clammy, he's very pale, he's sweaty, and in order to protect the integrity of the paper, he fires both Nancy and Jonathan. Now, my thing here, was it him talking, or was it the Mind Flayer talking, trying to cover things up that he is here and he does not want the children to meddle in his affairs of, I guess, would be world domination, I suppose? I mean, you have an interdimensional creature that's like 10, 20 stories feet tall, and I mean, I could see that. Yeah, I could definitely see that. So, we see the domino effect, as I was talking about. We see that Jonathan and Nancy have a really bad argument, and it looks like they might break up. Having seen this, I realize I said something wrong in a previous video. I thought they were living together. I was wrong. I apologize to you guys for that. Having said that, we can get past it. And I thought also those were full-time jobs, but no, they were interns at the Hawkins Post. So again, don't burn me, you guys. I'm growing in my reviewing. I'm the reviewer of the... Anyway, sorry. My ADHD is talking. So, as we go back, Nancy pretty much drops it. Jonathan goes home. She goes home. And we see that Karen catches Nancy as she walks through the door. And we really get to see a really, really strong pep talk. And pretty much Karen tells Nancy to keep fighting, that she's a fighter, and really she doesn't know where she gets it from, but obviously Nancy reassures Karen that it's her. And from what we've seen in Karen this season and in previous seasons, we can see that, we can understand that. So Nancy says to heck with it. She continues on with the story, and really she poses as Mrs. Driscoll's granddaughter goes up to the hospital room, and that's when we notice that Mrs. Driscoll's heart rate is beating out of control, and that her veins are going black, her eyes are going black, just as Billy and Will have done. So we know that Mrs. Driscoll has somehow been possessed by the Mind Flayer. Revolving on back to that, we get to see that Mike gives a phone call to both Max and Elle. At first, Max is very reluctant, mostly because of what has taken place between Mike and Elle, with him lying to her, but really not out of his will. No pun intended. So they try to devise an idea to catch Billy, to see if he is indeed possessed by the Mind Flayer. And I mean, obviously to the audience, we can tell that he is possessed. As he's sitting there by the pool, he's just covered in everything. He's not his typical Billy. You know, he's not wearing, he's not just wearing a pair of swim trunks. You know, he's got like a shirt, sunglasses, long sleeve pants. Well, not long sleeve. Anyway, that's not the point. So this is what the children devise. They will put him in a sauna, capture him, and burn the Mind Flayer out of him. As we all know, the Mind Flayer does not like heat. He despises it. He hates it. So later on that night, they manage to catch Billy. They throw him in there. And at first, we see that he's starting to burn up. You can see the smoke coming off of him. He's moaning. And we can kind of see that he's trying to manipulate Max to open up the door by telling her it's not his fault. It's not his fault. It's the Mind Flayer's. So we kind of obviously know that the Mind Flayer is doing his talking. But Mind Flayer goes active, and we see this really, really cool fight scene. We can also see the love between Elle and Max, how protective they are of one another. I mean, Mike knocks possessed Billy out, or at least tries to. Elle comes back and throws like one of those big giant lift weights, whatever you want to call them, throws it at Billy, gets him stuck on the wall, gets his neck stuck. He can't breathe, but he eventually gets down and he strangles Elle. But he gets knocked loose. Well, I should say Elle gets knocked loose. Elle throws Billy through a brick wall. We think it kills Billy, but it doesn't. So, in the night, the children are confused. And while Billy is possessed, we also see that Mrs. Driscoll is being possessed at the same time. So I'm kind of getting the feeling, you guys, that there is a tie in there, maybe in the Mind Flayer's ability to possess people. Maybe it can do one, but it's like a chain of people. which would make sense, like a drone of ants or something to that effect. We will roll on to Hopper and Joyce. Now, this is a very interesting part. We see a lot of politics going on here. We see that Hopper, after waking up, after getting the ever-loving tar beaten out of him from this Russian thug, Joyce tries telling Hopper that she got the license plate number to this thug, but Hopper, being the sheriff that he is, he knows that it would take weeks and weeks to translate it and to figure it out. Until Joyce tells him that, oh, he was riding a motorcycle. And that's when Hopper opens his eyes. He realizes that he did see a very large, tall, muscular figure walking out of the mayor's office that particular day when everyone was doing their protest because the Starcourt Mall was killing small town Hawkins, Indiana. So they head to the mayor's office. Now, the mayor is very reluctant to tell Hopper anything what's been going on. He's very... The two kind of do a fisticuffs at first. Hopper tries bribing or blackmailing him because of the stuff that he knows about the mayor, and the mayor does the same thing about Hopper. So there's this really cool fight. The mayor gets the tar beat out of him, and that's when we see that the mayor takes the two to his house where they unlock a safe and they realize that it's all real estate, and that these particular people that are buying up real estate close to the Starcourt Mall are doing something. And the only thing that the mayor can say to Hopper is, you don't want to mess with these guys. These guys are dangerous. You do not want to mess with them. Which makes me think, yes, it's the Russians. So they tie up the mayor, they go off and they explore every property. And then we cut to coming to the end. We see the whole plot between Dustin, Robin, Steve, and now the new one, Erica. As they're trying to figure out a way to get into the storage room where the Russians have been storing this weird product, we see that Robin figures something out, runs off, takes all the money out of the tip jar, then comes back with blueprints, and what she has come up with is that they can go through the air ducts down to where the storage room is. Now, I'm starting to like Robin. I really like the actress who is playing her. That's really awesome. I mean, she has been a very, very strong character, very tough, and that's what I like about her. She is one of my new favorite actresses in the series. Very nice, very witty, very tough. They try sending Dustin in to get through the air shaft. He can't fit. So we see this is where Erica comes in. Erica, who is always trying to get ice cream from Robin at this ice cream shop. They bribe her by giving her a lifetime supply of ice cream, and they send her in. And one of my favorite parts is, I love how she describes capitalism. Totally funny. Go watch that episode. You'll see what I'm talking about. So they find it. They manage to get down there. But then they realize that they are in an elevator and they have gone down about at least 12, 13 stories and they cannot get out. In the closing of this episode, we see the Mind Flayers army, which is quite a number of people, which I'm really looking forward to seeing episode 5. I mean, it's just turning out to be a continuation, building off. Sorry, I had to fix that. Just all around, I love what the Duffer Brothers have done, and everyone who has worked on that series till now. some of the camera angles with the scene between Nancy, Jonathan, and Tom, I don't know, the angled cameras, I mean, but I understand why they did it. I mean, it makes enough sense. But you guys, I hope you enjoyed my latest review of episode 4 of Stranger Things 3. Keep in touch with me for the next episode, and in the comments, tell me what I can improve on. So remember, you guys, keep up with me at Chet Guthrie at keep up with me at DreamPoet at Facebook, as well as my Instagram and the links below. Thank you all for the love and support. I love you all very much. Peace, you guys.